So this is just a standard video blog. I don't really expect anyone to really watch these or enjoy these except for me when I'm 80 years old. Because if I'm 80 years old and my life turned out all crappy, I like to try to track down to that one decision that I made that made my life crappy, and then I can go back in the time machine and then make myself do something different, and then hopefully things will be better. But basically, recently I'm going to graduate from college in spring. This spring, it will be like my second time graduating from college, I guess you could say. And I have about a month ago, I have a job lined up in Denver, where I'll be doing some type like software type stuff, and it's a good job. It seems like there's a lot of potential for growth. They said that they want to train college students to be their future managers, which is cool. So if I stick with it, I could probably be like a pretty high manager and make a decent amount of money. And I'd be living in Denver. I'd have my own place. I'll be like an hour away from my parents, which is far enough away from them, and yet close also. I will. I don't know. I have friends in Denver. I can still keep in contact with my friends in all over Colorado, and things would just be more settled. I guess you could say. I would have more. I would have a standard 40-hour work week. I can have the weekends to play, do whatever, go snowboarding or things like that, and then um, I would have I would have more time. I was planning on teaching myself the piano and the ukulele, because that little Asian kid playing the ukulele inspired me to learn how to play it. Um, and then I'll finally be able to buy that PS3 and Xbox 360 I've been waiting to buy for the past 4 to 5 years. Um, and then yeah, my life would be kind of like set, you know. But then, so I accepted the job, and then I was happy about it. And then recently, there is like another opportunity of this one company from Shanghai that was looking for 20 college students to 20 out of like the whole United States. It's actually just like three colleges in the United States, but it sounds cooler to say 20 out of the whole United States. But they're looking for 20 college students to come to Shanghai, do some training with them, and hopefully be one of their like on-site coordinators for them in the U.S. So I was thinking like, well, this is kind of cool, and go to Shanghai and they'll pay for it. They'll pay for airfare, apartment, everything, and then you get some training. They'll teach you some Mandarin. Like, seems like a good idea. So I just went to their little presentation for fun just to see what happened. I didn't really try that hard, and then they gave everyone a logic test, and depending on how well you do on their test, they'll give you an interview. And when I got the test, I was like, this test is so hard. Like, I was kind of laughing at how difficult it was. But like I think one kid even left in the middle of the test. They're like, screw this, it's not worth it. But I don't know. I did it. I left a couple questions blank, but apparently I did really well on the logic test. That's what they said. I was like, whoa, really? So they gave me an interview, and then I interviewed with them, and then I didn't think the interview went that well either. Like one of the guys was like, "What? Explain a abstract class in object oriented programming," and I was like, "Oh, I knew this like a year ago, but you know." But I guess they still, I guess, I don't know, left a good enough impression. So they gave me an offer. They sent me an email. Or actually, the guy called me and gave me an offer. Um, and then I had to think about it. I told the guy I had to think about it because I had that job in Denver that I already accepted. So I wasn't sure. I was asking my family, my brother, my friends, like, what should I do? And my brother was like, well, Denver seems like a um, more safer bet because the job in Shanghai, it's a year of training in Shanghai, and then I'll be coming back to the U.S. to be a coordinator, but I don't know how much I'll get paid. I don't know what state I'll be in, because I think they'll put me in a state based on where the clients are. I don't know what state I'll be in. I don't know, everything. But so my brother's like, well, it's things are more safer if you go to Denver. My dad was kind of thinking the same thing, and then my mom was like, yeah, whatever. And then some of my other friends were like, I'm not gonna say anything. You have to decide this yourself, so they weren't any help. But so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just stick with Denver, you know. Um, so then I emailed the guy saying, it's a fantastic offer, but um, I have to decline it. So I did, and then I was like, okay, so I guess I'm gonna be in Denver, you know. And then the guy sent me an email saying, well, I respect your decision, but if you ever change your mind, the offer still stands. And then the next day I woke up, and then I was thinking, like, you know what, I kind of want to go to Shanghai because I'm not gonna have the opportunity to travel to another country, especially for a whole year. Um, and then they'll teach me Mandarin, so that can really like improve my Chinese. Hopefully, I can get really good at it. And then they'll and the World Expo's there this summer, so that doesn't come around all the time. And then I was like, I kind of want to go to Shanghai, but you know, it's a really big decision because if I choose Denver, I'm gonna meet totally different people. I'm gonna have different friends, and if I go Shanghai, same thing. I meet tons of different people and have different friends. And then my brother was even like, Mason, like, your future wife might be determined on what decision you make. I was like, yeah, I know. This sucks. But, so I wasn't sure. I went to go talk with, like, the career counselor person, in UCCS. And then she gave me some of her opinions, and I talked to my project management professor, and then he gave me some of his opinions, and they're both kind of just like, yes, no, or you're still kind of young, so you can go ahead, take a risk. I'm not tied down by like family or relationships or kids or anything, so I can go, um, no problem. And then I wasn't sure. I was like looking for a sign, so I asked a lot of my friends, and I said heads or tails. And I won't tell them what heads or tails represented. And then like half of them chose heads and half of them chose tails. I'm like, oh dang it. I was thinking like if all of them chose heads, which is Shanghai, then I would go. Then that's a sign. You know, I go to Shanghai, and then that's that. But nope, nope. They're split down the middle, so that wasn't much help. I've randomly flipped a coin and signed it heads or tails, and then it gave me Shanghai. Um, but yeah, so I wasn't sure. But then I came home, and then I told my mom, I was like, I kind of want to go to Shanghai. She was actually in the process of looking at apartments in Denver. I was like, kind of want to go to Shanghai. My mom was like, really? And I gave her some my reasons, and then my mom was like, well, okay, then go to Shanghai. You're still young. Blah, blah, blah. So then my mom was like, well, I just spent an hour looking at apartments. Which I didn't have to. But then when my mom like called my dad, told him that I was thinking about going to Shanghai, my dad was like, well, hold on, just wait a second. We'll like talk about it when I get home. So then we talked about some more, and then end up deciding that I will go to Shanghai for this year. And if things don't go right, the worst thing that happens is that I won't have a job. But at least I have this experience in Shanghai, you know. Hopefully I won't get arrested as like a spy or something. But yeah, so I guess I'm going to Shanghai now. And the dumb thing is that I already accepted the job in Denver, so I actually have to decline them. Be like, hey, it turns out I'm not gonna work for you guys after all. And that is a total, really, you know, like bad, bad form for a person to do. But who knows? We'll see what happens.